Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 Waking the Tiger DLC. I am Sabouts, once again joined by Commissar Roach.
Hello.
We're doing pretty good actually. About to crush the Nazis down in Munich, which is pretty good. That was a big deal.
We're Sabouts ready to do that.
And we had discussed a little bit, I think off camera, about setting plans for the North Army, kind of getting them situated and ready to begin their assault once we've taken the South. Yeah,
we have with the cutting off of those two divisions and then the freeing up of all the divisions around them, there's a good chance that you can break through in the center to get to the river around Magdeburg. And once you get to the riverbank, you can hold the line there, and it increases your defensive position, like effectiveness, quite a bit.
So I'm thinking I'll go ahead and set that up. I can set it up without them actually executing it, correct?
Yep.
So
they'll start not executing it.
Okay.
And then they will, then it'll, when you decide to go, they'll go.
And you're thinking a offensive line drawn up against the river?
Yeah, I think that would work well, because then you, because again, if they try and counterattack, they'll have a less advantageous position than you currently are at, because right now you're just on the outskirts of Hanover, and the nearest river is behind it, and they'll have to, if you get pushed back that far, we're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking something like that. You can let me know what you think.
Yeah, that looks exactly what I was thinking of.
Perfect. Okay.
It increases your center's defensive line, like the effectiveness, a lot, and it still leaves the southern areas kind of back far enough that my army can break through the Czech border and then kind of come around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're gonna have
maybe at that point we can pincer them off down the riverbank and get everybody on the front. Maybe we could do something like that.
Oh yeah.
That is an option as well.
That would probably work really well. I mean, you're going to have, once once Munich falls and everything, you're going to have a lot of freed up power down there.
Yeah, and I'll blitz up the border is what I'm hoping to do. But let's unpause. I've already shuffled around some units from the northern front of this army to the southern front, so they can't do another breakthrough. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, they definitely caught us off guard a little bit there. I wasn't expecting them to pull all those troops down though, but they've really had to space themselves out to try and hold us. Yeah.
Currently, they have 136,000 casualties, while we have 89,000 casualties.
Wow. Yeah, so we're really doing the hurt on them.
Well, they're primarily on the defensive as well. Like, other than like that one little area in the north, they've been on the defensive.
Ooh,
which is always worse.
They actually lost one of their divisions up here. Just their irregular infantry division. The SS still holding out. 12% attrition.
That's what happens when they're cut off and you start reducing them. They'll just cease to exist at some point.
That's awesome.
I'm assuming you've captured some, or they've gone to ground or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big deal. I feel like being able to encircle and destroy divisions really puts a hurt on your enemy. It
does. It's one of the reasons that was the primary objective during Germany's attacks in World War II, was to try and encircle concentrations of troops and then reduce them there when they have no supply, because it's so much easier. There's no the amount of resistance you receive there is so much less.
Yeah.
Than if they were on a line of battle.
All right, so they're finished actually destroying that last SS unit. So once these extra forces get to their positions.
Yep, and then you can just wait up for the plan to kind of build up its power a little bit.
Yep.
And then you've got
once you get the green check mark, correct?
Yeah, or a yellow one. A yellow one means it's not good, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Moderate.
And then I think we have some ships here in dock. Were we planning on doing something with these? Were they not fully repaired?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, they're repaired now. Yeah, I was waiting for them to be repaired.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
I'll put them on a search and destroy pattern into the Baltic coast. And or the Baltic Sea, and we'll just have them do that patrol.
See if we can catch anything, mainly looking for convoys, and I guess they have some
Basically,
submarines floating
subs.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of subs.
Ooh, excavation, nice.
Okay. Well, it's still 1936, so we could hit up another branch, like naval, Air Force.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, it might not hurt to go with Air Force a little bit. Is there anything here that we can grab?
Well, we can grab a BF-110s, heavy fighters, or we could grab the carrier variants of any of the things on the left side.
Are we thinking of carriers eventually?
Well, the thing is like a carrier variant can be used anywhere.
Okay.
Anyways, so like having one research isn't a bad thing, and it's only like less than 100 days to get a carrier variant of things. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Or we could just get a heavy fighter. Heavy fighters are good, for protecting our bombers.
Yeah, I probably go ahead with the
longer range.
I'd probably go ahead with the heavy fighter.
Okay, pick that one up then. Expensive, but they're kind of worth it.
It'll be good to have, I think. I mean, we're clearly lacking a little bit in air. Oh, compared to other countries, we're probably pretty good, but we're still losing that air war in the Oh, actually, nope, we just flipped it. As I was looking at it, we just flipped it.
Yeah. I think that's because we just shook, or we're close to... yeah, we just took the Air Force space in the south.
It's back and forth. That's good, though. That shows progress.
Yeah, that means we're not losing outright.
Because we were earlier, but yeah, we did take that airport that was down there, and I think... Let's see.
Part of the problem is we're not producing any fighters anymore because we don't have enough factories to put them on the line.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just rolling with what we've got alive. Logistics-wise, actually close air support, we do have a surplus. But yeah, the tactical bombers, naval bombers, and fighters were really hurting on fighters.
Oh yeah, but they've been in the direct fighting. Mm-hmm. They've been in the shit the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, I'm about ready to subdivide this pocket into 2 pockets.
Alright. And now those units down there are all going to start suffering. Yeah, they're suffering some 22, 23%, 18% attrition, so they're going to start collapsing pretty quickly.
Yep. I mean, they already are kind of collapsing. They're not putting up a huge resistance. We just had a naval battle, and the German Reich lost 5 submarines to our surface fleet.
Ooh, fantastic. That means
have 2 left.
Yep, that means they got 2 left. That's what they're rolling with.
That is good. That's what we want.
Estimated manpower's actually up for them, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, they could have gone to a higher conscription law. But their fielded manpower is a lot further down now.
I wonder if it's possible... Is it possible? You may know, and I don't think it is, but to actually peace out with them, if you wanted to, in a different game, peace out with and have both Germanys.
I don't think so, because we're in a civil war, so there's not really a way to really do that. I mean,
and it had mentioned as well that Hitler was going to destroy Germany.
I don't think he'd peace out anything.
Yeah, I don't think he would ever peace out, especially against the half of Germany that's rightfully his. I mean, he marched into countries like, Austria and Poland declaring that they were rightfully his, so I don't think that he really cares.
Alright, we're about ready to... Yeah, they're not offering any resistance anymore. It's just mobs of men with guns at this point.
Yeah, they're literally just walking around. They're limping around, actually. They're a mess.
Oh, you have the 3D models on? Yeah, I switched those off a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I'm used to Hearts of Iron 2 and
Makes
Hearts of Iron
sense.
3, so they didn't have 3D models. I mean, they did, but I always turned them off, and Hearts of Iron 2 never had 3D models that I really used. It was most, I like using the symbols and the, you know, counters.
Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense.
We're almost there. Just one more division. It's the only one that had any type of organization left.
And still suffering from a 25% attrition. It's an SS unit. I think they're up in, yep, they're in a mountainous area too, and that's helping them just a little bit,
Salzburg.
but...
Yeah, Rommel's using a shock tactic to go into them, and they're just using a basic defense tactic, and they're being led by General Walter Kruger. Kruger?
Kruger? Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds close.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost there.
Yep, there they go.
And they're gone.
Nice. So we can actually...
And all those units are being reassigned to the northern front.
Yeah, we can go ahead and diverge our planes, right? You want to move them all to a closer airport so we can start using them?
Yeah, I'll do that. I just want to...
I'll actually start moving.
Okay. So that's my attack plan. Just immediately going to push in and then hook right. Straight to the river on Dresden. And then, once we hit there, I'm going to make another attack plan to go straight up along the riverbank.
All right.
And just encircle this entire front line is one of my objectives going to be.
And I'm moving all of the planes now up to a closer...
It's another sub down for the German Navy. For the Nazi Navy. So they've only got one left afloat.
Oh, they're actually trying to push on us a little bit up north, but I guess they have to.
And there goes the entire German Navy.
Oh.
They lost all their subs.
Well, that's it then. Then we've got... All we got to do now is just destroy convoys, cutting off supply.
Yep. Okay, let's see. What do we have for the... Have you already moved the Air Force up?
Yes. I've got it to a closer... up in
well, you got to a
Westfalen.
closer airfield, but you didn't shift them to a new air zone.
Not yet, no. I just moved them to a
Yeah,
closer airfield. Yep, I can start shifting them just right to Eastern Germany, correct? And they should all be set. Yeah, their orders are all still the same.
Yeah.
I feel like having all this extra air support's going to really help us out. I don't know how. I don't know if we're going to take. I think Eastern Germany. Oh, actually, putting all them on Eastern Germany seems to. Oh, you set the rest of them. Okay, perfect. It seems to be flipping back and forth. So.
Yeah, I'm also going to put the rest of our fighters there as well to try and help get Eastern Germany. Because I'd rather have Eastern Germany under our control.
I mean,
have the enemy air, like, yeah, under our control than our friendly air. Like, we can deal with a little bit of that for a while.
Yes. And having Eastern Germany under our control is going to help us with the advance. We're definitely playing more offensive.
Yeah, we need to push that. We have the momentum. We need to push the momentum and keep it in our keep the momentum on our side. And if they get the advantage, they can swing that whole northern half. It looks like if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I think so. We're still planning right now for army, our northern army there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rename this. I'm gonna rename my army. I don't know why I'm saying my army, but
It's kind of how it's playing out though right now. Northern. I got northern.
oh no, no, you put Northern Army into my army.
Oh, did
Pink
I?
Army is mine. Yeah.
Pink's yours. Let me get out of that one. There we go. I'll just call them the North Army.
First. Just naming mine First Army. I think they made the naming a little bit more fiddly.
Oh, was it not? Was it different before?
It was a little bit more. It was a little bit smoother last. And now they. I think the field they have is a little bit more fiddly to get right. So I had to type First Army about 2 times to get it right. Then again, that might be just because it's 8 a.m.
Yes, that could be part of it.
Okay, I have a green light for my attack. So hopefully I'm gonna make my attack, and you'll be able to attack a little bit afterwards. Oh, ooh, I can see why you're having a problem with your attack plan. Click your army.
Yep.
Like, do you see the it says a certain on the attack, like, arrow, it's got the end line.
Yep.
And do you see the words it has at the end line? 8 divisions.
Okay.
So you don't actually have your entire army assigned to that attack plan.
Oh, that would be why. Okay, so I can just erase that and reset it, correct?
Well, no, you don't have to. If you click the army,
okay.
So you have it selected, you can press Control and then click on the arrow.
Control. Ah, okay, and then click right here. Just Control and click. Okay, so that should have everybody assigned. Ah, yes, it does.
Yeah, and look, it already says you have a yellow attack marker, which is moderate. So I say we both go at the same time. We just strike them at the same time, coordinated, right now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. I've got my attack plan going. All you gotta do is hit your arrow at the top of the
there we go.
Portrait.
All right.
Okay.
This is the big push.
Yep.
It's going to be pretty important. How are we doing air support? I think we're still maintaining... Yep, still maintaining it over Eastern Germany. And...
We'll get better, too, because there's a couple of airfields just behind the line that we'll take. And that'll increase their, the distance they have to travel. We're already crawling down the Czech border now.
Nice. And you're bringing it right to that river, correct?
Yep, right to that river, and then the secondary objective will be to crawl up the river.
And cut them off. And at the same time, I'm trying to cut them off from the part up here in the north.
That was the wrong army to give that order to. Okay, and they've got their objective there. Hopefully, we'll push up the river and we'll come around their line, and we can just cut off this entire everybody on the line, all these Nazis. Oh, we've taken Dresden. Gotta renew those bills.
Yeah, we talked about that, actually. We think we're going to renew them at least up until probably the end of the war.
Yeah.
Or until we see a victory right in sight.
Well, I mean, we're within range of Berlin now.
I know, we're getting close. The toughest part might be crossing that river, but I've already got a foothold on the other side. I see that, and that's awesome. So I think maybe... I mean, obviously they probably don't have a whole lot of units back there. You're not seeing much pushback over there in that southern part of the river by Dresden.
According to our intelligence, they only have 17 to 21 divisions total.
Yeah, and they're probably all right over here right now.
Oh, definitely, they wouldn't be anywhere else. They're not defending against the Polish border.
Oh God, the Poles.
I'm taking Leipzig. Okay. Well, we're starting to wrap around them. Might be able to attack on the back end of couple of those divisions around Magdeburg.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Help you out.
Yeah, they've got a pretty strong wall up against there, but the good thing is
they've been entrenched for the whole war there.
Yeah,
so.
The good thing is that I'm at least making I'm making them a good push on them. I'm keeping them pinned right there so they can't really come down and reinforce the south, where you're just essentially like destroying
Rommel, the German fox.
I mean, you're literally destroying that south part of that line.
Well, it was because basically it's the same size as your army. It was just concentrated into 2 provinces, and it was pushed right on through.
Yeah. Ooh, really close to Berlin now.
Yep. I think I'm going to try and make a push with one of the divisions there. Just try and get into Berlin.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt if we actually end up. I mean, the picture's working out perfect. We're actually flanking them right up here. These armies are practically trapped.
Practically, they've got a corridor to go down.
Yeah,
and they can be attacked the entire way down. But we've taken Berlin. Ooh, I got a pop-up. Hitler found dead.
Oh.
With the capture of Berlin, our troops discovered the corpse of Hitler in a bunker in the city.
Oh.
Choosing death over seeing anti-fascist elements take over the country, the leader eventually took his own life rather than risk capture. In his stead, Heinrich Himmler has now stepped up to lead the Nazis and has already affirmed that the government will not abate in their fight against anti-German treason.
Wow.
So if we click the country now, we click their flag, Heinrich Himmler is now there instead of Hitler.
That's crazy. I mean, 1936, Hitler's dead.
Hitler's dead. Yep. And arguably a worse monster's in command.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't really made it any better. Not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
If anything, we've made it worse. How typical of history.
Well, things get worse before they get better.
That's true. That's very true. And we
have another tech, by the way. We just got our logistics companies.
All right. I guess we could.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Engineering, and we pick up radios.
We
need engineering because we need.
Yeah,
we can see the logistics companies, or below the logistics companies. There's signal companies you can pick up, but we need radios to do so.
Okay. And how's that actually help us out?
Well, radios also give us a reinforce rate of plus 5%.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we're doubling up on engineering, but I mean that's not a big deal. I think that's something we. Oh, and we have free military factories for once.
Oh wow!
So we're actually producing fighters now, or I mean, we're only producing 10 a year. But
so what's that put us for logistics? Oh, we got 29 surplus of 29 light tanks now. We've dropped the deficit of rifles by almost 2,000.
We're not that far away on having positive motorized and support equipment either, which is pretty good. So basically, I mean, it's just having guns is our problem.
Yeah, which is kind of a big problem, but we're making it work.
Well, it's because we may be down 8K, but it's spaced across the entire army.
Yeah.
Which is, fairly all right.
Yeah.
Compared to what it was before.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we've almost closed them off right there. Is there a city? Yeah, there's, what is it? I can barely see. Magdeburg, yeah.
Erwin Rommel wounded.
Uh-oh. At least
in the beginning of the battle to a successful conclusion. In bringing the battle to the successful conclusion, it seems General Erwin Rommel put himself a bit too much risk while leading his men. He's been wounded, and it will likely take some time for his wounds to fully heal, until which the general will not be performing his usual level. So he gains a wounded trait for 90 days.
Ah.
So that's a thing that can happen to your generals now. It's actually kind of cool.
So that's brand new.
Yeah, that's not a thing that happened before. So it looks like Rommel, leading from the front, got a bit too close to the fighting.
Yeah, usually not a good idea. He probably just wants to, drive up there with his tank.
He was known for leading from the front. He was a fairly active commander.
Those are the best type of leaders. At least for the morale of the units, generally.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're also very good, then, that's good as well. Alright, I'm hitting the neck of this pocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in too.
We've already secured the other half. I just want to cut off this entire pocket. It's a good number of troops in there.
I doubt they're gonna make a push there, so I'm gonna move that. Yeah, I definitely want to sever that neck and be done with it.
That was a textbook assault. That plan worked perfectly.
Yeah, I mean you've got free reign to just go wherever you want now outside of Berlin. I mean, they have nothing there to stop you.
I'm already pushing along pushing along to the coast.
Yep,
is currently the objective.
You've got nothing to stop you, and all of their forces are going to be trapped in a pocket here shortly.
Yep, because I think they capitulated.
Ooh.
So we got some equipment out of that.
Nice. From
their stocks, about half of what they had before they blew it up, and they did damage to every other province in the area. Nice. Okay. We'll let the day tick by a little bit longer because I know there's some pop-ups that'll come up here. Huh, but that's the Civil War. We are now, if you zoom out, we're now the German military junta.
Nice.
All right, we took all the states. We've annexed it. And we do have a focus to take now. And I think we can take the next one in the tree on the left side. We can secure the new state.
Yes, we can. Perfect.
So I'm gonna click that.
A lot of base stability, some political power out of that.
Yeah, and the other thing we need to do is we need to look at our construction tab, and we see all of the damage caused by the war. That needs to be repaired. So I think I'm going to shift a couple of these factories to the top to get them on the queue.
Yeah, we've got a lot of damaged.
A lot of damaged factories, infrastructure, military factories. So I'm not going to assign any of these factories that are currently spare, because if you look at the queue, you'll see two of those at the bottom are red, which means they're not producing anything; they're damaged.
Okay.
So just leaving it right as it is right now is good. If we put more at the top, that means the damaged ones will become more of. They'll start crawling up the queue. So we just want to leave them as there is right now.
All right, and we can, let's see. Okay, we did actually pay those bills, or we closed that off.
Yeah. Oh, got a pop-up. Nazi leadership captured. At long last, we have freed our country from the grip of our enemies. And those loyal citizens who rose up to support us, to support our cause, may now finally return to their homes. As a nation, we may begin the long and arduous process of rebuilding our nation. The country's leadership, in turn, is free to begin looking ahead at what might come in the future, democracy or a return to the old monarchy. One last thing remains to be taken care of, however. With the end of the Civil War, our troops have managed to capture a large portion of the Nazi leadership. Now, there only remains the decision of what to do with these unsavory part of our recent history. We have two options. Hang them, or imprison them for life. They might become useful in the future.
Huh.
Hang them gives us a base stability bonus of plus 5%, change of popularity negative 5%, and imprison them for life is plus 75 political power, and a change of popularity to fascism plus 5%.
Well, boy.
What do we do?
I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one.
See, here's the thing. Fascism is still not popular, but it's still a thing in this country. It's 16% of the voting electorate.
Yeah, we'll probably need to, under events of decision, we might need to do anti-fascist raids.
Maybe, but if we hang this leadership, that's a negative 5% to that number, popularity of fascism. Which brings it down. and we get plus 5% stability. It'll bring us almost up to 80, which is what we were at before. But if we imprison them, that means fascism goes up 5%, which now put it on 21% of the voting electorate, which is, I think, a little bit too much for my taste. And we don't really need the party, we don't really need the political power, because we're already at 148. We're making a good amount.
Yeah, I'm going to say we send them to the gallows.
Alright. We've hanged them. And another pop-up.
So
The German Civil War ends. The Civil War that wrecked Germany has now come to an end. By the way, I think that was only, 90 days? Or something like that. I don't think it lasted that long.
No, it didn't.
We only did like one. Yeah. It's come to an end. The fighting was extraordinarily intense, with fanatical resistance by the Nazis caused devastation on a scale reminiscent of the Great War. It appears Hitler is dead and the Nazi leadership imprisoned or executed. The provisional government has now announced that it is necessary to secure their hold over the state and ensure the return of stability to the nation before there can be any thought of embarking on the process of constitutional reforms. So let the rebuilding begin was our only option, and there we go. We're now a military junta with von Mackensen in command of our nation.
fantastic.
Well, and you can see our military, all those spare units have been demobilized because those were militia.
Yeah. So
we're a shell of what we were before.
Yeah, we've got some serious rebuilding to do.
Well, I'm going to put First Army on the French border.
Okay, I'll take the North Army and I'll set up a front along Poland again.
Yep, that works. And we are at the end of this episode.
Perfect. Yeah, we are. That was a good way to end it, though. The end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
End of the Civil War, and now we're all going back. So I guess next episode's just going to be a lot of rebuilding. Both infrastructure and the military is just, yeah, definitely an empty shell of what it once was.
Okay, well, hopefully we can bring it back.
And that'll definitely be the plan. So I want to thank everybody for joining us for this one. We hope that you guys enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.